welcome back to Praggers Gaming. I'm Gamer Praggers and this is Techtonica, and as you can see, things are running a little bit smoother. Mainly because I've torn a load of stuff down. So that's the first thing we're going to do. I feel like we need to try and complete that task. 8,000 spectral cubes. So how do we do that? Well, first things first is I have torn down a lot of the crushers, especially from lab, because I believe the crushers are the main hog. So I've taken those down. We've still got a few here and there to do stuff, like this one's continuing giving us Kindlevine extract. Now a lot of this, because this is now not producing. Why not? Because it's not getting this isn't getting this isn't getting the cogs, which is a problem. Not gonna lie, I don't know where the cogs are. I don't know why they've stopped, because they should be coming along this line here. Coming from there. Oh, it's because it'll be because we stopped the steel, which is coming. Iron bit is coming into here. Send that round. But it's just not getting around to there. What's in there? Have I got? So from where I've been tearing stuff down, we might have things that we can. We don't. Okay. So the other thing that I've been doing is I've been working out what it is that we need to get to where we need to do, and see if we can get rid of some fluff. So I've made a list. Now technically we need two. We've got two goals. One is the research, which we've got on research. So that just creates the cores. So pink, blue, green, yellow. Okay. Now all of the stuff that's being sent up there, we've got iron and copper slabs, processor arrays, cooling systems, relay circuits and electric motors. All of that stuff is needed to produce those, and that's all it does. Now I've started making a note of what's being produced where. So for example, electric motors, relay circuits and processor arrays are all coming from X-ray. Now I think X-ray is probably going to be one of the hubs that we keep. So research should continue. Now we're not currently making the electric motors, however I made a change earlier to hopefully allow that to start carrying on. I'd put the steel powder in the wrong place, so that's doing its thing. And then we've also got the stuff we're making up on Unknown, which is for the cubes. So part of that is making the fuel for the sand to keep that low, and the rest of it is for making the cubes themselves. So those are carbon bricks, well, carbon frames, which are being produced here, but we don't have copper. We don't have copper reliably getting up here, so we need to do that. That needs carbon bricks, and what I've done, although it's not much of a problem, I have made a change on Sierra. Not that I've plugged it in yet, or plumbed it in, I've started. So we still have a backlog of carbon bricks here, all the way down here, which I don't really understand. Oh, because there's, yeah, 233 in there, and this one's just not drilling out. But that was part of the problem, is we've used a lot of that up. So I set up just around here another setup, but I'm not getting the fuel to it yet. But we need to get that sorted. Scrap backed up. So there's that. Let me take us to lab, because I think it's time we took everything down. So as you can see, I've taken down most of this, and we're getting some decent frame rates. So I think what we're going to do is just come here. Not those, but I can take those out. There we go. Oh, nearly. There we go. Right. Back to how it was. Now, mech. Mech is self-sufficient, really. Oh, no, it's not. It's not producing any fuel, because we're not getting cestonite powder, and we're not getting schifferthorn coolant. Both things that we need to get sorted. Because it's gonna, although it's got a long way to go, it is going to eventually fill up. Archive, I think, is caught up. No, it isn't, because there's no, we've got no, but it's not loading up too quickly, which is fine. And then Sierra's where we've got stuff coming. So let's just head to unknown, which should be pretty smooth, other than, okay, so the carbon frames are a problem, fuel's a problem, carbon frames are a big problem, we've used them all up. I'm still going though, 286. And it's taken ages to refill. But that's okay. Okay. And we've got 576 yellow research cost. So how do we go about fixing this and getting this all up and running? Well, first things first, we need to get a steady supply of copper and iron. That's first, but where do we do that? Now, part of me says go back to Lima and we fire up. Right, let me just put a couple of boxes here to put stuff I don't need, such as all this limestone. That's all the sand. And we need to get all the glass out as well. A lot of iron mechanisms, but it's got us somewhere somewhere close to where we need to be. Right, so it's up here, I think. Yeah, so they're all going down. Okay. Now we do have, yeah. This is all copper, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Right. How much iron have we got? Not a great amount, but some. And we've got over here as well. So let's just tear that down. There. Okay. So, or, because what do we do? So this, so we take the iron chunks, and that produces the powder. The powder then comes into here and gets mixed with shiverthorn extract, limestone. That could be a problem. Okay. That then produces iron infused limestone, which is then threshed. Which then goes where? Oh. Oh, hang on, I've messed this up then, haven't I? Okay. And then that produces the chunks, and yes. What's in here? Limestone. Okay. Okay. The iron chunks then get threshed. Okay. The iron chunks get threshed, they get it turned into iron ore powder, which then what happens? powder, copper powder. What do I do with the copper powder? Do we smelt it? Oh. Of 2 to 2. Okay. But that gives me... okay. But if I want... I'm just trying to think, because that gives me bars, which is fine. But if I want slabs, which would be better, if I want slabs, I need to change these to blast furnaces, and this is a good chunk, and there's plenty down here as well, so I'd need to change that. And there's still plenty here, but again, it all needs to change. Now we are producing here. Output is full, so we are producing. So we could send some of these. So if I come here. Send it to there. Okay. Right. Strip that down. Okay. Right, let's take that, bring that all the way down here. Because we don't need that. And we're going to need to upgrade that. We don't need those. There. And I don't know what you're doing. I don't know where you're going. Okay. So let's get the blast drills. Here. So we've got one there. One there. As a start. One in, one out. One in, one out. They won't work without power, so we need... Right, now we need to bring that down. In fact, what I might do is swap those round. Yep. Okay. So that then loads them up. And then takes them through to be smelted. Okay, so let's get that plumbed in. Ooh, missed a bit. There we go. Okay. That'll do. We got our power. Right, I think all this needs to go. There we go. There we go. Right, that's the power up here. Again, more blast drills. Okay. Right. Sorry, let me just, there we go, there we go, in, out, out. I mean, I don't know where they're going to get smelted, but I suppose we could just do it here, couldn't we? Have they got to be done in blast smelters? I think they do. That could be a problem. I mean, copper slabs. And because none of this is going to work. Right. Take those out. That one needs to go. That needs to go as well. All of these need to go. Do you know what? I don't want to, but I feel I need to just restart this. I don't know what that line was. There, that'll do. And I don't need the bio bricks. So we can just change that. And then we'll redo that. Okay. And we're gonna need more. Okay, that's a problem. What don't you get? It's the sesamoite gel. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a problem because we're not getting that. Okay. I knew this was going to be tricky. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So, the problem we've got is we don't have the fuel for to be able to mine out the copper and iron chunks. Now, yes, we've got a load here, and that's fine, but we need to up those. We're going to need to up that, because we're also going to need that fuel to smelt it, which isn't a problem. We need to up our production. The problem is when it comes to the sesamoite gel, because we're not getting that delivered anymore. We've got powder coming in. There's some down there. Where was that coming from? It comes here, comes from here. It's being delivered to here, but where's it coming from? Is that coming from barracks? Barracks is producing. Okay. That's going up to 16. Okay. Okay. So I think we need to get the gel not just for 16, but for 2 as well. Because I think we're going to be needing it. Where's the gel coming from? It's coming from over here, which is coming from here. This is from the sand's now the problem. Okay. We got loads of the gel. We got no sand coming in. Because we got no fuel. so many of those on me. Okay, so we need sand, which means we need to start producing fuel. Okay. Full. But if we can get the gel up to 2, down to 2, I never know which way it goes. But if we can take that gel to 2 as well. There we go. So that'll start going to 2. We could... Oh, because we're still sending it up to 14. We're not sending that up to 14. Okay. Interesting. Right. Take those off because we don't need that, because there's nothing on 14 anymore. They're going up to 16. Okay. Maybe it's X-ray then. Because we need to just stop sending stuff up there because it's not being used. Oh, I didn't realise how much time we'd spent. Right. 14, 8, 14. There. But that's just my gel. We could have a use for that. I can't remember where. But yeah. Okay. Right, we've now got the gel coming through, which means that's now producing those. Yep, they're already, yep, that's fine. Right, how are you getting on? Powder, you're missing the coolant. You're still missing the iron. Yeah, okay. We do need to fix that, but we still need to get... Let me just... There. Okay. That'll get a few going. And we can get rid of that. But if we've now got... I mean, it's not full, because it's doing its thing, but we could branch off. In fact... probably better off doing what we did over the other side. There. Okay. Pop a quick save down. That is going to be all we've got time for in this episode. We still need to carry on doing other bits and pieces, tidying up. We need to get iron over here. Ooh. So we're going to need to thresh some of these slabs. So we're going to need a thresher over here somewhere. If I do that and put in one iron slab, actually, what does that break down to? Is it just bars? Yes. There we go. That's empty, so we're going to just get rid of that. Where's that going? Nowhere. Oh, here. But it's not doing anything. Okay. Okay. That's cool. Just stick those in there to give me a load of gears. So yeah, I think that's we're in a good place. I need to get no. We need to get this all running. No, they're just coming. Okay. So we might need another setup of these to make sure that we've got enough for both sides. And we can then look at getting iron produced over here, and then we can use the slabs to make the next components that we need to start sending it up to the cubes. But for now, I'm going to say thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, ticking the bell so you know when new videos go live. In the description is a link to the channel Discord. Feel free to come and talk about the games you're playing, the games I'm playing, games in general. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.